About what? Flight rings?
Underground fighting rings hidden inside bars.
Oh, I thought you said flight, like flying. I was so confused.
No, you're good.
He would probably like try it out. I don't know. He'd be cool about it.
There's betting there.
He might hear about it and just be like, I could listen to this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A little drink, a little fighting. Fun night.
All right. I'm here, but this is also the time that I do my laundry because I can't play video games and I need to keep myself busy. So if I sound distant from my microphone, that's why.
Well,
no worries.
I'm chopping up vegetables and such for cooking, so.
How dare both of you? No, you're fine.
Do you want to come do my laundry, Dusty?
I'm too far away. My arms aren't long enough.
Sounds like a skill issue.
I will work on stretching.
Dusty, you need to learn how to teleport. Like, come on now.
Get the fuck on it. Eve and I teleport to each other's houses all the time.
All the time.
Eve, I love your place in the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Yeah, the Dominican Republic.
Done. You got it, buddy.
I can't believe you didn't know that. You weren't totally confident.
No, I was totally confident. What are you talking about? You didn't hear
rude.
You didn't hear the confidence in my voice?
You sounded so confident, I think.
With a blade in hand. Don't sniff it.
I can't believe you didn't think I was confident in that answer, Steph. Of course I know where my best friend in the whole wide world, Eve, lives.
Totally.
So we good to start?
Yeah, I've got my tabs pulled up. I'm also just not directly in front of my computer, so when it's my turn, I may have to run.
I'm not. I have my phone directly in front of me. I'm just, like I said, chopping vegetables.
So I'm assuming that means you don't want to go first in the letter phase.
No.
I can go first.
Okay.
My document is already sent in the letters channel, so anyone is welcome to pull that up.
Yeah.
I have put lines in between the letters from the previous chapters to make it easier to understand. I'll give everyone a second to pull it up before I start reading.
Deeply appreciated.
All right, when everyone's good, just let me know.
Don't look at me like that. It's a bottle of juice, not wine.
Mother has wine for the baby?
For the baby?
I see 3. I know I'm waiting on 1, maybe.
Wine for the baby?
I don't think that Civ's going to be opening because they're shopping vegetables.
Well, Eve.
No, it's just a bottle of muscadine.
I don't know if Eve, are you opening?
I'm in, yeah.
Oh, is it Key?
I can do it.
Oh,
wait,
well,
Dusty, you should probably open because one of your letters directly affects mine.
Yeah, I'm going to read after Fen, and then you, and then Steph, I think.
Okay. So then we're all here. My first one is to Scarlet. Dear Lady Palmer, thank you for being such a gracious host and throwing such a magnificent party. I would say I apologize for my dear friend Magnus, but I believe he only made the party more entertaining with his antics. I will say that I apologize for the state I arrived in. It was not becoming of me. The issue has since been resolved. If you ever throw another bash, please do let me know. Regards, Morgan.
Yay! I expect you to read
then,
a whole page in Russian.
How was that?
Yeah, so
Awesome.
obviously you're reading the
Good job.
Quick
translation.
and concise.
So
Quick
this
and
is a
concise,
letter.
thank
This
you.
is a letter received for Morrigan. The translation says, "Morrigan, it deeply saddens me that you left your home so quickly. I know our argument left you conflicted, and I don't blame you for lashing out. But your father, your quick exit from Moscow ensured that if you ever returned, people would want you put in chains. But I do not want to see my daughter and heir to my throne thrown into prison like a peasant. If you want to return to Russia, please write to me in advance so that I can be sure you are in the hands of the right officials. Your father, Tsar Koshkov Efim Tumarovic."
Yo!
Ooh. Ooh.
Well,
He's not the song. He's not the song.
hey, what the fuck did she do?
Huh.
I am sensing plotting.
So, whatever she did, the Tsar doesn't either forgives her or doesn't hold it against her. Whereas her other dad, that is here in England, definitely does hold it against her.
Ooh.
For reasons.
Aren't I a little stinker?
For a second, I had to be like, wait, I thought fucking Valikov was the father. Oh, right, gay people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh right, gay people.
Gay people
Remember,
do
yeah.
exist.
They exist? What the fuck?
Yeah.
For the record, I wrote out all the English of it first, and then I went to go retranslate it into Russian to see if anything conflicted, and it was so long that Google Translate went, nah, can't do that, sorry.
I'm good. No, thank you.
Oh, I had a quick question.
Hmm?
I don't
Yeah.
remember. Do our monologue tokens reset like now, or do they reset after the visitation?
They reset after the visitation at the end of the cycle.
Okay, because it's still the same cycle. Okay, just,
Yeah.
I always
there's-
forget how the
There's
cycle
2
is
novel
broken up
chapters
exactly.
per cycle.
One of them being
One being an
one of them
event and one being a visitation, yeah. It doesn't have to be that
Okay.
way, but we seem to like doing it that way.
So like
Okay.
it could be like 2 visitations in one cycle.
Yeah, if we wanted to do that, we definitely could. I just think that for now, I think
Okay.
one event and then visitation to deal with the aftermath of that event has been interesting.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just make sure I understand it right though.
Here, I will go ahead and read mine then, because I have to read mine before Key or Steph can go.
Okay.
Because they both wrote responses to Audris's letters. So mine have to come first.
Yes, I totally wrote mine down. Totally did that.
It's
Bro-
totally fine if you didn't. Like,
Yet, Steph, the game doesn't even, like, necessitate that we should be writing letters. Me, Fen, and Key are just extra like that.
yeah, we just do it for fun.
So the first letter, and the one that I'm gonna leave the drama bomb for second, like Fen did. So let me drop the first letter. Are you going to preview properly, letter? Yes, there you go. Okay. This one's rather short. Dearest Mademoiselle Palmer, your party was an absolute delight, and I thank you sincerely for receiving me. It was lovely to finally see your personal estate, and what a beautiful home it was. Parties of your flavor are certainly more lively than those the Baroness tends to favor, and I find myself quite enjoying the change of pace. Hosting must be a terribly busy affair, and I would be delighted for you to receive me at your estate again, but I can only imagine the work it must be to balance your time between so many guests. If it would please you, I'd love to spend more time with you in a smaller crowd, though I assure you there is no pressure. I am happy to have your company in whatever form it is you prefer. Yours sincerely, Lord Audris Winkler. Attaches bouquet of yellow tulips, crocus, and spearmint.
Oh.
So that's the first one, which is the less stirring one, I suppose.
Key, I sent you a DM, by the way.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see it.
All right, so this letter is slightly different because it is a letter concerning Audris that is being sent to Estrella. Kind of similar to the letter from the maid that Sorrel got. Do not attempt to replay it. What?
That's a threat, dude.
Why is it
Don't
better?
attempt to replace it.
Do not attempt to replay it.
Damn!
That is always terrifying.
It's so mad about it.
God damn.
Damn, I won't then.
Really...
Okay, so my second letter, Dear Baroness Stockton, while I hope this letter finds you well, it is unfortunately of a rather disagreeable nature. Since initially diagnosing young Lord Winkler with his condition, as he so childly insists upon calling it, I have left you in your ward B, as instructed. However, in the last handful of months I have been inundated with letters from the boy, asking for me to examine him further. As you had made your feelings regarding me curing the boy of his condition rather clear, I, at first, ignored his letters. But given his insistence and the fact he is now nearly a man in his own right, I did eventually examine the boy again. This examination seems to have sparked something in your ward I was reluctant to bring to your attention, but at this point, my hands are tied. Young Audris has seemingly become obsessed with my examining him in various stages of undress. While I understand this is the best way to monitor any progression in his condition, given the nature of it, his continued insistence is becoming highly inappropriate. To be quite frank, Baroness, your ward is out of control and seemingly cannot rein in his boy's urges. His continued obsession with being examined reads to me as an effort to seek my touch, which I will no longer be tolerating. I suggest you rein in your ward before you lose control of him entirely. As fascinating of a specimen as I find him, I will no longer be risking my reputation as a doctor to study this boy any further. Yours, Dr. Richard Black.
Hello?
I know what's going on. Tee-hee.
What the fuck is happening? Okay.
I think the only person who doesn't know entirely what's going on is Yibs, Dusty.
No, Steph doesn't know.
I was gonna say I have no fucking clue.
Oh shit. Steph, we're holding hands right now. Oh my god.
We're holding hands. We're so fucking scared.
Yeah.
So I think it only seems fair that you go next, Key.
Yep. Okay, I'm on it. Let me pull everything up.
Oh, does this mean we get a Mama Bear response?
Yep.
Mama Bear.
Hmm.
I'm screaming and I have neighbors just stomping up there.
Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yup.
Okay. Dear Doctor, I have received your letter. Rest assured, my son, Lord Audris.
Oh, can you?
Are you able to link
Can
it?
you show us? Can you send us the link?
What? Sure, but I haven't done any of my edits to it, so just give me 1 second.
No worries.
I wrote it down. I didn't do any of the fancy letter stuff that I did with it.
I've got 6 different Google Docs for this campaign, simply so I can have different fonts for all my different shit. So I didn't have to flip-flop back and forth.
But yeah, you don't have to format it. The only reason I did is because I saw you do it once and I thought it was neat.
No, I usually do. I just didn't have the time or energy. I just had the time to write it.
Fair.
Yeah,
and
you're
valid.
good. I just if I'm able to read something as it's being read to me, it works just so much better in my brain.
I will never
Yeah, no
forgive
worries.
you for this, Key.
I'm
Anyway,
killing you
all
right
right.
now.
All right, okay. Let me and Callie and sort me out through the hundreds of thousands of other people. I'm sure that will go great.
But yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. All right. Dear Doctor, I have received your letter, and rest assured my son, Lord Audriswinkle, will not be in contact with you again, nor will I or any of my household. In the future, I will ask you to not seek a letter of recommendation for me, as I will not have many flattering things to say. Your tact regarding my son's health issues is abhorrent, and fails to give the common courtesy befitting someone in your field of employment. Despite my reservations, my son ultimately went to you for medical assistance, and your malignant interpretation of his behavior is abhorrent. Rest assured, I will arrange
My child.
I will arrange for Lord Winkler to see a different, less inappropriately minded physician. We shall not reach out for medical advice in the future. For the final time, Lady Stockton, Baroness Primrose.
Oh.
Ma'am, your son keeps wanting to strip in front of me. You pervert.
I know it probably sounds that way, but there is more that's going on. All right, and then I got my other one. Plus, if you don't, if you know the history of the medical field, it's bad in this time period. It is not that great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They call this the heroic era of medicine.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Not good.
Hey, do y'all know why chainsaws were invented?
I don't want to think about that. Thank you very much.
For
The
hillbillies
player
that
got
cut off people's
stuck.
faces.
Why does the player keep getting stuck? What the hell is happening?
Thick ass.
And here is my other letter to Morgan. My dearest friend Morgan, I heard you made quite the stir at Lady Scarlet's party the other day. My apologies for not being able to attend. However, I had other priorities that needed tending. That being said, Audra did mention to me that you took the time to chat with him while you were there. That was very sweet of you. My son couldn't stop talking about it once he got home. I'm pleased to hear that the two introduced yourselves as more personally. If it's possible, maybe we could arrange an afternoon tea between the three of us to sit and chat. Hoping you are settling into Havershire well. Sincerely, Lady Estrella Stockton, the Baroness Primrose.
Yay. Yay.
Lesbians.
Lesbians.
So hot.
And you had
There you
at
go.
least one you wanted to dictate, right, Steph?
Yeah. So since it's her own party, Scarlet probably tried to say goodbye personally to everyone as they left the party. Anyone who she didn't get to, she sends them a letter like, "Hey, thanks for coming by." And then she also has a response to Audrey's letter, in which she basically says like, "Oh, lovely to have you. It's so nice to have you over here. I'm glad you had a good time. How about we meet up for tea at the library? That way it's a more neutral place for us both regarding our relatives. And if I must admit, I have been lacking in my book studies lately, and I would love to know what kind of recommendations you may have."
Poor shaggy child.
You're going to the right guy.
Books!
Yo, did everyone fucking die?
Hell yeah.
Did the lesbians kill everybody?
That is what lesbians usually do.
Yeah, yeah.
And what did you have, Siv?
To the Lady Baroness Stockton.
Oh boy, here we go.
Whoa.
Did you also have a link?
No, I have no. I am dictating like you.
Oh, okay.
I write to you in regards to my unfortunate appointment of tax advisory. I will be making the yearly visitation soon in regards to the local taxations of your county, your household, and so forth. Yours, Sorrel Penguin. I'm sorry, I can't think of the word because I am being
Brigadier?
Brigadier.
Yeah, Brigadier General from the Brigadier Sorrel Stockton.
we get you, Sim. It's okay.
What is your
The
cat doing?
bikini sorrel.
She wants. I was just getting the chicken thighs out of the fridge, and she started just circling my legs because she decided she has to be involved now that the chicken thighs are out. And
You pulled out shit.
now I have chicken juice all over the floor. Ew.
Oh no.
You pulled out chicken and she started circling you like a fucking shark.
Yes. I couldn't finish. Not to die.
Sincerely, the bikini sorrel Pedowin.
Wilson, don't fight her over it.
Did you have a second letter, or was that it?
I have a second letter. Just let me get my composure back. My cats are devils. Sorrel receives a letter.
Yeah.
Hello, Captain, Brigadier, whatever you are. Time to make your appearance down at the docks. I have your winnings, and I have some troubles. Would love to have a friend with its side, an old companion and comrade in arms. What say you? Truly, always, irreparably, Alexander. So there you have it. A letter of introduction from the new little person I have earned from last session.
Nice.
Ooh.
So, Sorrel's got a fuck toy now and he's gonna go perform an audit on Estrella?
No fuck boys. But yeah, he has to form an audit on Estrella.
Well, that's
I am
gonna be fun.
making a note that his name is Alexander because you did not fill out the thing. Who should be playing Alexander?
Notably, his name is not Alexander.
Yes?
He
It's a
just goes,
pseudonym.
that's right. His name.
I'm putting it in quotation marks then.
Already did it.
His actual name is Alfred. What have you dragged out? What is that?
Last name?
Well, who's
Hackney. So I can think.
well, who's currently only voicing one person?
Magnus?
Steph,
Magnus, do you want to be a secondary rapscallion?
Steph is only voicing one person, and Eve is only voicing one person.
So I feel like first dib should go to either one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, I would really rather not. I'm having a hard time keeping the shit I already have straight.
Eve.
I don't know.
I was about to say, I can. If Eve, you don't want it, I will throw
Here's-
my hat into the ring for that.
Because there's
Yeah,
also the
sure.
possibility that Civ can play them this first time if Sorrel's not going to be there, so we can get a taste for who they are, and then we can offer them up for play next time.
True.
Because we don't have any information on what this person is like yet.
Well, based on that letter, it sounds like Sorrel might be showing up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not so
Who
Alexander
makes
has winnings. Sorry.
Ah, shit. I have chicken juice leaking onto the oven now.
So it sounds like whatever introduction Alfred Hackney is going to have to be maybe at the end of the cycle, because whoever plays him is going to need to discuss with Civ what the hell is going on with him.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So Steph has no interest in playing him. Do you want to play him, Eve, or should we give it to Fen?
Go ahead, Fen. Take it away.
Excellent.
Wait a minute. If Morgan's going to be in that scene, that could be a problem.
I don't know if I'm doing that, though, is the thing. I think it'd be really funny, but I don't know if I want to do that.
Okay.
Saying an introductory scene that begins with me introducing the character of a Morgan introduction. But here's my biggest suggestion on this. The boys go down to the docks. They meet Alexander. And Morgan happens to see what the hell these boys are about to get into.
My original plan with that involved Warren being in town, and he will not arrive until next cycle.
I also have a different plan for visitation that suddenly came to me in a spurt of genius.
Hooray. So do we want to put a pin in that, then?
Oh yeah, like I said, the letter was to introduce the character, basically.
Okay, cool. How old is Alfred?
Alfred is 42.
Alrighty. He, him?
And what?
Him?
He, him, yes. It took me a moment to understand what you were asking of me. Pronouns. That's a thing.
Yeah, I'm just filling out the shit in the...
No, I got you. I just can't remember. I just can't be a person. And I'm not looking at the thing because I'm trying to...
Yeah, I'm filling it out for you because you're being bombarded by cats and chicken juice.
I thought I was fine, and then my demons came.
Oh no.
I have not filled out Warren's yet because Warren is not going to arrive until next cycle. So that was the epistolary phase.
Yeah.
Okay. So we move on to the visitation phase. Would anyone particularly like to go first?
He and I have worked out an idea, but I'm so content with going last.
Yeah.
Unless you want us to go first, Guy.
I'm okay with wherever, but Dusty and I also talked about having Audris and Estrella have a talk.
My only feeling is that I think it would make more sense for Estrella's to come before Audris, but that doesn't mean you have to go first.
That's true.
So meaning Audris and Estrella talk and then...
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Before Audris' visitation with Jacob.
Okay. That works.
God, am I in 3 people's visitations?
Oh boy.
You're in mine, then there's Jacob's, there's 2.
And then if Steph is doing the library thing, I'm in that one too.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last few cycles, I felt like Audris has kind of been like a minor character witnessing other things happen. So I'm down for this to be the Audris chapter.
Fair enough.
And I have no malice towards Audris kind of falling by the wayside. There was shit going down.
I was throwing.
So unless you want to go first, Steph, I guess it would make the most sense for Key to go first if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
What was I eating?
All right, Key. So it's you and me. How are you picturing this discussion happening?
Personally, I was thinking like Audris was somewhere in the manor, and this is recently after Estrella sent off her letter. So she's going to look for her son to give him a talk, and she finds him in like one of the sitting rooms.
If I may choose to be dramatic, as I am wont to do, I think that she finds him practicing the horn on like one of the balconies.
Okay, yeah, no, that works. Eventually, she's just wandering around, and then she hears the sound of a French horn in the distance. She's like, "Ah, there he is."
There is my
So
son.
just thought, there is my son, and she.
There's my little twink.
And she just comes out. She goes out onto the balcony. She doesn't interrupt him, but she does like take a seat on some of the like patio furniture and waits for him to finish. Because she doesn't want to like intrude, but she does want to talk.
So it takes probably a full minute for Audris to notice her because horns are loud.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he does not hear her come out there, and so he finishes what he's doing, probably like flicks through his sheet music a little bit, and that's when he notices that she's out there on the balcony, and he starts a little bit and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. Were you in need of me?"
It's no trouble, dear. I just wanted to talk to you about it. She kind of looks around to make sure that like they're not being overheard. She just goes, "I wanted to talk to you about a personal matter. I know you were talking to Dr. Black recently. He just sent me a letter."
Audris immediately flushes, and he puts the horn back in its case, and like lays it down at his side. And he says, "Oh, I had been in contact with him. I know you don't particularly approve of his attitude, but the idea of involving another doctor in the matter did not sit well with me."
Estrella kind of sighs and goes, "I understand you not wanting to start the whole process over from the beginning. It's just that I don't think he is the best doctor that can handle your condition. He doesn't treat you with the respect necessary.
Andres is kind of avoiding her gaze and rubbing at his arms and says, I could tell that he wasn't particularly, I wouldn't say he wasn't happy to see me. He was fascinated with me, but not in a particularly nice way.
Estrella lets out like a short little breath and simply says, "Oh, I'm certain he looks at you the way some self-prescribed doctors look at butterflies they've pinned to a wall."
Audrus kind of lets out a nervous chuckle and says, That's certainly similar to how I was feeling. Yes. There's just been new developments recently, and I them well, I don't think.
Estrella's like her face grows soft and she gently puts her hand on top of one of Audrus's and she's just like, I know that this is complicated. I know that I'm sorry I can't help you better. But just because we are struggling to handle this doesn't mean we should send you into the care of someone who doesn't seem to have your best interests at heart.
Audrus kind of
There are other doctors.
sighs. Because for a long time, I just fear I was too bashful about the whole ordeal. But now it feels like, I don't know, as if I went from a curiosity to him as I was before. As fascinated as he was with the new developments with my condition, he also seemed to have quite a level of disgust as well, which did not particularly help my anxiety.
Estrella is slow when she does this, like she's giving Audrus opportunity to pull away if he doesn't want it. But she does like slowly wrap her arms around him and just holds him close.
Audrus comes willingly. He kind of sighs as he curls into her and he says, I just wish I could be normal.
She like combs her fingers through his hair and says, I'm certain there is not a person on this earth that doesn't wish that they were normal. I am certain that's probably the one thing that unifies us as a species. In your case, though, there is nothing wrong with it. You are as you were made to be, no different than me, though perhaps a little rarer.
He does
I,
kind of snort
I,
at that.
yeah.
Rarity being the opportune word, I suppose. My own efforts at research come up with nothing. It seemed that a doctor was my only avenue, and being a specimen to pick apart seems to be my only option. I don't know how else I'm supposed to learn what's going on with me.
Estrella like takes a moment to think before she says, there is nothing wrong with you. I want you to know that that there is nothing wrong with you, and I don't think that as such. My only concern is that given the unique nature of it, I worry what it might do to your health, both in your mind and body. So long as there is no harm being done, then I do not care. You are still my son.
Audris is getting a little teary-eyed at this point.
Audrey?
And he hugs her a little tighter, and he says, "It's been weighing on my mind a lot, especially with me joining the social season. I have to tell people, don't I? Isn't it wrong to keep it to myself? But also, how disturbed does it make me to announce it?"
Should I make people aware of every mole or freckle that they can't see underneath my dress?
Not the same, Mare.
I know. But I am also of the mind that those whom it does not concern does not need to know.
Just pulled away and started wiping his eyes. I think if I started courting someone and they found out and didn't take it well, I don't know what I'd do.
Estrella kind of like sits beside him, and her face looks like it's far away, and she just kind of answers, "Unfortunately, that is one of the many issues with courting. There are so many unknowns that you must account for when you try to engage in a relationship with someone else. Little secrets, things that once you thought might have been able to stay private, now you have to share with someone. You don't have to tell them right away. I can't say that you can never tell, because eventually they will find out. But there are ways to have this conversation when you feel the time is right in private. And if they truly care for you, if they are truly a good person, then they will think about this the way that I do. That it is simply a part of who you are. And who you are is someone beautiful.
Audris hugs her again. I'm sorry that Doctor said that. Quite very embarrassing. It was meant to be a private matter. I didn't want to involve you in it.
Estrella just kind of pets his hair and says, "It's all right. I understand why you wanted. I'm not angry about receiving a letter or that you went. It's that I'm angry at him because someone in that field should be much kinder and much more understanding than he treated you. I'm not angry at you, dear. I'm just concerned. I want to make sure you're okay."
think I will be.
Good. You know I love you, right?
Audrissa pulls away enough to look at her, and he sniffles a little bit. I love you too, Mare. Thank you.
You never have to thank me, dear. You're my son. Nothing will ever change that.
There's no reason I had to be, though.
There's no reason for anyone to consider anyone else family. They simply do. And that's what I've done with you.
Hey, now that I'm crying in real life, I think that's a good place to call that.
It's like, okay, since the heavy stuff's out of the way.
We made Civ cry. Hey,
Sorry, everyone.
what the fuck is going on with Era? Why is it getting so angry about songs it used to play perfectly fine?
And it keeps having trouble and getting stuck. Bikini.
Do not
Swear to
attempt
God.
to replay it. I mean, I guess I'll let it keep going, and if it continues to be weird, I guess I'll try and find the new bot. But since I'm using Spotify, not YouTube, which is usually what bots get like, real messed up with, I figured it wouldn't be a problem. I'm wondering if it's just a connection issue.
Who wants to follow that up?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna fuck with the bot a little bit.
I don't know how to follow up with that. My heart hurts.
Although I feel like since we just had a scene on it and only like 2 people in the chat don't know, should we tell them what's going on?
So it will come up with Scarlet relatively soon, and once it is said out loud, then Eve will know.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, let's see if that fixed the problem. Okay, so someone should go before Steph, because their mic is being a butthole, apparently.
Oh, bye, Steph.
Goodbye.
Steph, are you alive?
Huh. Do you want to like reset your computer?
Does your mic have an off button on it? Did you pull a Jethro? Okay.
Completely insane.
Check your seats. Reseat your connections.
Okay, if someone else can go while you fiddle.
So who? Me, Key, Civ? Or was that Key's visitation?
That was Keys.
So Dusty, me, Civ?
If you want to follow that up with taxes, it will certainly not just be about taxes, but yeah.
That would be funny because she's going from this to have, like, That would honestly be funny because she's like entering, having to make nice with Sorrel, already pissed off.
I would not have this be immediately after that. Thank you.
If it's the same day she got the letter, she's still gonna be pissed off though.
No. Sorrel's appointment of the letter is a week ahead.
Alright.
Like his
Okay.
visit is not that day. It is to be scheduled because she also has to have the paperwork set up. Like
Yeah,
he
she has to pull the records.
like he literally can't like
The
like
player
Sorrel
what the
literally
hell
cannot
is
be
happening?
coming in that day.
It did not fix the problem. I don't know what's happening. Completely whack.
Okay.
Which problem? There's 3 right now.
The bot. The bot
Okay.
keeps getting stuck and getting angry about it.
So if nobody's volunteering to go, we can't all just sit here in silence. So I will throw my hat in. We're all too polite to each other. Someone has to wear the pants.
I just don't
All
want to
right,
go
then
immediately because I just cried.
I was trying to just make it clear, like
No
I
pants
can
for
do this.
Dusty.
Sorry, that's funny.
Okay, yeah. You go.
So, Key, are you okay with us going?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's. I feel like this would probably happen closer to the late afternoon, early evening. I don't know when the meeting with Audrus would have happened.
Probably like either late morning, early afternoon. So it's been a few hours.
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me.
So Morgan somehow navigates her way to the Primrose estate and knocks on the door, shakes the gate. I don't know if it's a walled complex or if it's just a house.
It's basically just the house. You just walk up to the door and knock.
Okay. So yeah. That's what Morgan does. So she'll go up and knock on the door. She's wearing just like simple like street clothes, more or less. Nothing dressy, just a shirt and pants.
Estrella comes out. She was a little surprised because she wasn't expecting anyone today. But she a part of her kind of lights up. Some of the lines in her face smooth out when she sees Morgan standing there. And she's like, "Oh, how wonderful to see you. What brings you here, Morgan?"
I apologize if appearance was unplanned. A letter takes too long, and I do not have a servant to send to you. I was wondering if you would join me for dinner at my home tonight.
Estrella kind of blinks a minute and then she says, "Of course, that would be wonderful. We haven't had the chance to get together recently."
I fucking knew a Russian word for sweet, but I've lost it. Very good. When should I expect you?
Estrella has a moment where she's like, oh, do you mean tonight? Well, I suppose right now would be fine.
Very good. I will head home and begin preparing dinner. I hope you like Russian food.
I haven't had the pleasure, but I'm looking forward to it.
Goulash, goulash.
Very good. And Morgan nods and catches herself bowing before she wanders away, muttering to herself in Russian, like, "What the fuck do I? What do I get? What do I make?"
And Estrella's just like watching from her doorstep, like smiling and waving.
Can Andres have been close enough to hear someone at the door and like peek around the corner?
Yes.
He like it's been a couple hours since this thing happened. So he's like on the balcony, like technically on the second floor, but he heard this conversation. He's like peeking around the corner. So like Estrella like shuts the door and like turns around to walk away, and she just sees her son very, very clearly watching.
It's just like, oh, hello, dear. Is there something I can help you with?
So you're
Starts being
going to
annoyed a
dinner?
little bit.
Yes, I believe Morgan is preparing dinner for the two of us.
Audris smiles and says, I'm glad. She makes you happier than I've seen you in a while.
She smiles kind of warmly. She kind of smiles kind of warmly and goes, I appreciate that, dear. Thank you very much.
I'm very quickly Googling Russian food. There you go. I put 3 in there. But anyway, continue what y'all were talking.
I think we were done.
Audris is still just barely peeking around the corner. He says, it's good she's rather forward, though. And then he just like dashes off before she can say anything in response to that.
It makes Estrella pink, but she's like, I don't have the time to chase him. I have to get ready.
So, Morgan stops at the store, and I close that fucking tab. I should have kept it open, son of a bitch. I can do this. Reopen close tab. There it is. So she grabs like beef cheeses, some broth-based pickles, and a huge fucking sturgeon from the market before it closes. And she is at home cooking these foods. Her windows are open just that way it doesn't stink up the whole place. And she is cursing in Russian for being as hasty as she's being.
Hello.
And I take it that's when Estrella shows up.
Yeah, that could be when Estrella shows up.
And she's like hearing this from outside. Steph lives.
Yeah. Is Morgan home? Or
yes.
Magnus. Sorry, it's Magnus there.
Oh yeah, Magnus. Magnus does live there. Is Magnus there?
Magnus can fuck off for your little date. It's fine.
Morgan and Magnus had a serious roommate talk and went, bro, you gotta go.
I need you out of that.
Listen, you go for a walk, and if you come back, there's a sock on the door.
You go for a walk. I will leave leftovers for you in the ice box. Go.
He salutes and fucking leaves.
All right. So Estrella showed up?
Yeah.
Morgan, sorry.
She like daintily knocks on the door.
Morgan dusts her hands on her apron and is still muttering to herself in Russian. She answers the door, and her brow is clearly furrowed because she's concentrated on making this food. But the second she sees who it is, she smiles. Oh, please come in. I am still in the process of cooking. Make yourself comfortable. And she swings the door open wider and steps aside.
Estrella like smiles a little bit before like stepping into the room and says, "Thank you very much for inviting me. It's been so long. I don't think I've been invited to someone else's home in some time." And she's looking around the room and she can smell like the food from the kitchen. She's like, what is it you're cooking? It smells lovely.
She points to the cooktop. I don't know what they'd be using, so I'm just gonna say the cooktop and let y'all's imagination run with it.
It's probably like a wood powered stove. That's probably it.
The bowl you see there, they're called pelmeni. It is dough wrapped around meat.
Ooh, sounds delicious.
No
joke. That actually sounds delicious to me right now.
The thing that I found, the website I found says, when you think about Russian food, pelmeni are probably the first dish that comes to mind. Pelmeni are bite-sized dumplings made with ground meat, usually beef or lamb, that are boiled, then most commonly served with sour cream, though they can come as a soup or served with buttered, mustard, or vinegar. So it's just like dumplings. She points to a bowl, a pot of roiling broth, and says, "This is sweet."
Sorry, excuse me. When Morgan is done, she's like, "I don't think I've ever had sturgeon before. It's not exactly a common fish in England."
I paid quite the price to get it here. Thankfully, the fish market here is very big.
Estrella kind of chuckles and is like, "Well, I suppose that's the benefit of being an island."
But please have a seat. And I thought I did send it somewhere. I did. The floor plan, it's in the artist nook, and I'll reply to it. That's what Morgan's place looks like. I drafted up blueprints for this. She doesn't have like traditional chairs at her table. It is cushions.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a kneeling table akin to like traditional Japanese style.
Yeah.
But that is also because she is a creature of little comfort.
Yeah, that's fine. And to Estrella's credit, she like sees the setup and like gracefully sits herself down on one of the cushions. Because something that goes on, something to note is that during this point in time, trade with India was really good. And that brought a lot of Indian customs, or at least made English people aware of them.
That's how trade works, baby.
Well, keep in mind that the one doing the trading was the Honorable East India Company, so...
Talk about them.
We're not acknowledging that here. But...
No, they're not real. Anyway.
Estrella handles it with grace and sits down and waits. And she goes... And she just kind of asks while she's waiting, "Are you living alone here, or is that friend of yours here with you?"
Magnus stays here. He is deckhand on ship, but ship is stuck in port. So he needs a place to stay because they will not let him stay on the boat.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but at least it gives you a chance to have some company.
Very true. I have not seen Magnus in many a year. He He helped me when I first left Russia.
That must have been a big favor for him then. You two must be close.
We were very good friends for a while. But sorry, hockey. But but he saw me differently than how I saw him. Does that make sense?
I believe it does, yes. That is a common phenomena here in England as well.
That is not to say that we have any bad blood between us.
Of course.
But enough about me. How was you? You did not come to party.
Yes. Unfortunately, I had some personal business that needed taken care of, and it probably would have been better for me to stay away anyway, given the history between Brigadier Sorrel Pettywin and myself.
Morgan is still at the cooktop, but she looks over her shoulder and there's a glint in her eye and a very big half smile on her face. My dear, did you not hear what happened?
Estrella blinks and she just kind of looks up and is like, "What? Audris only told me so much."
Did the good Lord, I don't know why I turned British for a second. Did the good Lord tell you that Lord Pettywin took an unexpected bath in the punch? And more, I want to stress, Morgan knows what she's doing.
Estrella kind of like, her eyes wide enough spread into a smile, but she kind of like brings her hand up to cover her mouth, and her shoulders are shaking for a minute before she like calms back down, and she's like, "No, I wasn't aware. How unfortunate. I would never expect that to happen to the Brigadier.
I do not suppose.
How on earth did that occur?"
I do not suppose it would surprise you to learn that my dear friend Magnus took them for a dance.
A dance. Interesting.
Oh yes.
New Brigadier.
Sorry, finish.
No, I was just saying, like, I never took it. I never took Brigadier Pettywin the type to dance, let alone so apparently erratically that they'd find themselves in the punch.
Oh, they did not initiate the dance. My dear friend Magnus is the life of any party he goes to.
I see. He must be quite the character if his invitation to dance with Sorrel was accepted.
I don't suppose we'll be seeing the good general at any future parties.
Estrella kind of sighs and goes, none that they feel they can politely excuse themselves from. Unfortunately, social conventions require us to at least make a few appearances.
I will never understand that British custom.
Which one?
Forcing yourself to attend a party, even if you do not want to.
Estrella kind of sighs and she's like, unfortunately, I don't understand it as well, but it is the fashion to see and be seen.
I would rather have a party with 5 willing guests than a party with 100 unwilling guests.
I can't say I disagree with you, but I also can't say that most of Britain would. In truth, it's a lot more stress than it's probably worth.
The fact that you do it, I must applaud you. And she doesn't actually applaud, but she finishes the dumpling dish. So she brings that to the table and sits while everything else is still kind of simmering and cooking.
Mm-hmm. Estrella takes off one of her gloves and picks up one of the dumplings and like squishes it because she's trying to see what it is. Then she looks up. I keep it up for the sake of my son. Unfortunately, family shame tends to be passed down. There are many older families than mine that haven't yet lived out the faux pas of an ancestor of theirs. And then she takes a little bite, and her eyes just kind of widen. This is delicious, very hearty.
My other father, and she looks kind of embarrassed, but like kind of proud saying it. My other father, the Tsar, was a very good cook. He taught me very well.
I have to admit I'm impressed. I myself don't know how to cook very well. I made an attempt once, and my servants encouraged me not to attempt again.
Very good servants if they are able to critique you.
I run my house better when I listen to the people who actually know what they're doing.
Something the Tsar could learn from.
In theory, it's something that anyone in power can learn from, but few seldom do. Were you happy in Russia?
A flurry of emotions play across her face. Anger, regret, sadness, maybe a little bit of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Before it comes back to like her same neutral, kind of smirky, I'm pretending to be stupid about things when I'm actually really smart kind of look.
Yeah.
I miss my home. I do not miss the people.
Estrella kind of nods at that and says, I've lived in England my whole life, for better and for worse. In truth, there aren't many people that I would miss, but the few that I do, well, they're the reason I think I stay. I couldn't live without them.
If my father, not the Tsar, if my father were to disappear, it would be for the better. If the Tsar were to leave, I do not know what would become of me.
Estrella kind of gets this sort of drawn look, and she's looking kind of far away, and she goes, I found myself in that position once with my late son. He passed a few years ago.
Morgan says, and I'm not going to do it, but Morgan says a few words in Russian that almost sound like a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think like Estrella can like hear the tone.
My deepest sympathies with you, my dear.
They are not needed, but I appreciate them nonetheless. We had, I'm sure you recall the epidemic that ran through England some years ago. He was unfortunately one of its victims. When it lurks towards the end, I didn't know what I would do with myself. Husband gone, most friends I kept at arm's length, and only one son remaining in my solace. It wasn't easy, but I found little reasons to stay around. My remaining son being the biggest, of course, but it took more than that, as I'm sure you'd understand, for a mother to lose her child.
Morgan gives a very soft nod. She stands and gets the rest of the food at this point and sets it out. She is not like to presume people's portion sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So she sets it out with all the proper utensils and she kind of does like the typical motion, like, please help yourself.
Mm-hmm. And Estrella, she does the British thing at the time, which was that she takes little portions of everything. Because that's what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to try everything, but you weren't supposed to get like big portions of it.
I will say, for as informal as Morgan is, I just had this thought. For as informal as she is, she does have formal place setting. So there's like a salad plate and an entree plate and a soup bowl, since we're having soup, and all the proper forks and all the proper spoons.
Yeah.
Love that.
And Estrella just kind of like gets with that pretty much all. She was raised on it, so she gets it almost immediately. So she's already eating and like trying little bits of everything, and she's like, I cannot understate enough how good of a cook you are. This tastes delicious.
The soup, I closed the fucking tab again. God damn it, dude. The soup,
Your brain
hold on.
is the soup.
The hockey was doing things. The soup, the description says, for those that love pickles, solyanka is a dream come true. Starting with a base of bouillon, solyanka includes all sorts of salty and sour tastes, such as pickles, olives, brine, or lemons. Add some meat, fish, or sausage and mushrooms and other vegetables, and solyanka makes a whole meal by itself.
Man, I want pickle soup. That sounds awesome.
Me personally, I don't like pickles enough to eat that, but Estrella's having a good time.
Is she actually having a good time, or is she just enjoying Morgan's culture?
Like actually having a good time. Both, but still. It's because, especially since like with England, like a lot of, I don't know how to put this, a thing where they started making those savory jellos.
Oh.
And yes, that's not, those were as disgusting as your thing. It was, a lot of it was appearance over substance. So she is actually like genuinely enjoying this food.
Yeah, because it's got actual flavor compared to British food.
Food that is trying to be
compared to
food.
British food. And not an art decoration.
I would assume it's probably quiet while they're slowly eating their meal.
Mm-hmm.
When they're all finished, Morgan is figuring out how to divvy up things to preserve and save for the future. just because she is not one to waste.
Mm-hmm.
But as she's cleaning, she motions and says, "Please take whatever home for the Lord. He, growing boy, needs his meat."
Estrella smiles, and she takes the napkin. She wraps like a few of the dumplings in the napkin, and then puts it in her, escaping me, but it is a word. What is essentially her purse of the time.
Yeah.
I'm so certain. No, it's not that. It's called something else. I just can't remember what it's called.
Her kangaroo pouch.
And no, unfortunately not. But she does say, like, I'm
At
sure
least
our Audrey would love
unfortunately,
these.
as if
Thank you
that
very
wouldn't be
much.
terrifying.
Dusty, there are purses that are just called pouches.
Yeah. A fanny pack.
Oh, I thought you meant she was really a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Reticule. That's what the word I was thinking.
Right.
Say it again.
Reticule.
Oh, the reticule. The reticule. The lovely piece.
Estrella just smiles and says, I'm sure Audrey would love these. By the way, thank you for helping him out at the party. He did tell me about that when he got home.
I do not appreciate when. What can one little brigadier general do to me anyway?
Estrella there is a brief something older that goes through her eyes for like half a second before she goes, well, he was in the army, but I'm certain that all that's behind him now. Or he was in the...
Please, my home is your home. You are welcome whenever if you just need an escape.
Thank you, and feel free to call on me again at any time. And with that, she takes both of Morgan's hands, gives them a slight squeeze, and then gracefully walks out the door.
I'm so
Morgan.
pretty, so pretty.
Morgan floats off the ground like in the old cartoons when they'd smell a pie on the windowsill. Now Morgan smiles and opens and closes her hands slowly and gently. And I think we can end there because it looks like Steph is also dying.
Okay. So we probably weren't gonna finish all of the things today, so we can probably, what do you say, Dusty? Maybe call it here?
Yeah, it's fine because my OBS is having a hard time staying connected anyway because my internet is pissed off. So I have no problem calling it here.
Okay. All right, no worries. Thank you. All right, so this works. And then that leaves, I think, that leaves just the two visitations from, I think, Sid and Dusty.
Oh no.
Yes, no, maybe?
Steph still has theirs.
Scarlet?
Yeah.
So we're about halfway through because there's 5 of us because there isn't a
Okay.
and half, but
Okay, yeah. All right.